What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Trophy Room Podcast. I'm your host, your boy Nick, back at it again. I'm here ready to talk NBA, NFL, MLB, WNBA, and more. What's up, everybody? Brand new episode 17 here. Episode 17 here. I got another special guest with me, y'all. I was just on his show, so it was only right to bring him into the Trophy Room. The manager of OB's office, Mr. Chris from Ball Game Podcast. What's going on, my guy? What's up?
What's up, man? That music hits different when you're here live rather than watching it back, man.
Yeah,
That
man.
was like a spiritual experience.
Everybody's got that same reaction. Listen, man, I'm gonna say it every episode. Shout out to my dog Shelly, got the beat for me, and definitely he was like, "Here, bro, go ahead, use it." I'm not using it, so I was like, "All right, cool." But yeah, man, we got a little bit of a packed out NBA episode. But before we get into the whole NBA stuff, I do want to get your opinions on the Super Bowl that we just had over the weekend.
Man, I've had some time to digest, so
We could talk the game, we could talk commercials, we could talk whatever.
So the commercials, the State Farm commercial with Arnold.
Yeah, well, Arnold was funny.
Epic. That was epic. That was the best Super Bowl commercial. That shit was awesome.
Absolutely.
In terms of the game, man, I don't know if it was because I was drunk and out with my friends and having a good time and I won some money, but that was the best football game I've ever watched.
Wow.
From start to finish, it wasn't as exciting as, let's say, the Patriots Eagles Super Bowl where they were scoring back and forth every time, but this game had everything. There was defensive plays. There was great special teams plays and then some special teams blunders. There was fumbles. There was two quarterbacks going at it. There was receivers making plays. It was just, to me, it was everything I want to see in a football game. And to see it end like that with one of, if not the greatest quarterbacks of all time, going down there and leading a game-winning drive like that, like, to me, it was just a complete perfect football game.
Absolutely.
In terms of analysis, I think the Niners lost this one more than the Chiefs won it, honestly. I think we all know when you're playing those guys in Kansas City, number 15 and Big Red Andy Reid, you have to put them away because we've seen it time and time again. They come back from double-digit leads, and the Niners had multiple chances to put them boys away, and they just didn't capitalize. And I think it's a multitude of factors. I think Brock Purdy could have, for as good as Brock Purdy was, I think Brock Purdy could have been better. And that's not me saying Brock Purdy's a bad quarterback. He's a system quarterback. I think Brock Purdy proved himself as a perennial top 10 guy, which is great and which is really all you need to do with that 49ers roster. You don't need to be Patrick Mahomes with that roster. But he could have made some more plays, especially that 3rd and 4 right before overtime. I think Kyle Shanahan got way too cute with his play calling. Way too cute.
A lot of trick plays.
Yes.
A lot of play action, a lot of all that.
Yeah, I think he got way too cute with his plays, and I think for as much as we hyped up that weapons room all year, they didn't really show up. Kittle was a non-factor. Debo was honestly, they were all pretty much a non-factor besides McCaffrey, and even McCaffrey, like, objectively, he had a costly fumble on the first drive of the game, which is not like him. So I think all in all, the 4 of them, McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, and Kittle, they all could have been better. In terms of the defense, I thought the defense was spectacular for the Niners. I think they did everything they could. I think it went downhill as soon as Trey Greenlaw got hurt. I have the stat. Let me try and pull it up. The dude who came in for him, I don't even know his name off the top of my head, so I want to just pull it up to make sure I'm correct. Bear with me 1 second.
I definitely do agree with what you're saying that like the whole game just shifted as soon as Greenlaw went down, because I remember watching that, and I remember when I was watching the game, I see they panned to Greenlaw, and like he was getting everybody hyped, jumping around the sideline, and as soon as he jumps and takes a step onto the field, I just see him drop to the floor, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And like those are really like the worst types of injuries those non-contact injuries are just devastating. And like you
Yeah,
saw it,
terrible to watch.
yeah, and you watch it in some of the replays, you see a lot of the defensive guys see him go down, and you see guys change their moods, change their faces, especially Fred Warner. Fred Warner's face dropped and he was like crying on the sideline, and I was like, "Oh, bro, like I understand, but like he's the captain. He's got to be able to like turn around that defense and tell them like, hey, listen, we're down a man, but we got somebody filling in, and we got to do this for him. Like you got to turn that whole team around." And
Yeah.
I feel like the Niners were on a good run, but once Greenlaw went down, it went bad. Obviously, like I definitely agree that Brock Purdy could have played a little bit better, but there were some open looks that he missed, and I do feel like where he could have been better at was showing off a little bit more arm talent and accuracy in trying to get guys going. I felt like when it came to Shanahan didn't really trust Brock Purdy. He just let Christian McCaffrey just reign free. Like they scored 2 passing touchdowns, and both of them were not thrown by Brock Purdy. Like that was
No, Brock threw the second one.
he did the second one. Okay, my apologies. But like to start off the game, like in the first half, like he didn't throw 1 touchdown. It was the backup, or it was like number 15.
It was Jauan Jennings. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what. Like I feel like Shanahan, in order for Brock Purdy to thrive and to get out of this system quarterback title, he's got to let him loose. Sometimes I understand you have the best, not even probably the best running back behind you, but like you got to let the kid free for like a little bit at least.
Yeah, and I just felt like all game. I felt like both quarterbacks were holding on to the ball too long. Honestly, like Mahomes didn't play a great game by any stretch of the
Yeah, I don't think so
imagination.
either.
But
But the thing about Mahomes was that when they needed Mahomes, he was there.
yeah,
And that's what you're gonna get out of a top quarterback. Like every third down, Mahomes was like, "All right, we really need this third down. I'm gonna get it," and he got it.
yeah. I have it in front of me right now. So the dude who came in for Dre Greenlaw, Oren Burks,
Yeah,
in coverage, he got targeted 9 times. He allowed 9 catches. He allowed a touchdown. He allowed a 134.7 passer rating when he was targeted and had a 32.1 PFF coverage grade.
see, if they had Greenlaw, it would be a whole different ball game.
Right.
So they were being smart. Once they saw Greenlaw went down, they were definitely attacking him, and they were attacking that side, and that was the game plan, and they ended up winning, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I know like the Brady Mahomes comparisons are gonna fly around for as long as Mahomes is in the league, but it's the same thing as it was with Brady. Like, how did the NFL allow a guy with that much talent and a guy like I don't want like a guy who manages the game like that? Like, all quarterbacks are game managers. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Allowing a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who rarely makes mistakes, who rarely gets sacked, who rarely has any negative plays, who will protect the ball, keep it out of harm's way. How did we allow a guy like that to get what was, in my opinion, for weeks now, the best defense in the NFL? It's very Brady reminiscent to the early days in New England. And, like, they're not going anywhere, man. They're not going anywhere. It's scary.
I think they're only going to get better. Like, I really thought they were going to take a downfall this year because Chris Jones was talking about leaving. If Chris Jones would have left, I think they would not have made it, obviously, because you can tell this whole offseason run, this whole postseason run, how like what's the word? How valuable Chris Jones was, and like everybody saw it. But now that Chris Jones is there for a long time, like they're definitely gonna be favorites.
And they've been drafting so well the past couple of years too.
Exactly.
All the picks around the edges and stuff like that. Like, and listen, I think it's almost a lot. It's a loaded free agent wide receiver class.
I was just about to get into that. Like
I don't know who it's gonna be. If I had to predict, I would say Mike Evans, because I think Mike Evans wants to win the most wants to win rather than just get a bag compared to everyone else that's in the free agent class. But
absolutely,
someone's going to see the opportunity and say, wow, I could go be Patrick Mahomes, number one wide receiver.
Exactly. And
Compete
look
for
at
Super
what he
Bowls.
did with no wide receivers.
Right. Like someone's going. Who else? It's Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley, T.
Brandon
Higgins.
Ayuk.
Right. Brandon Ayuk could potentially be on the move. Like there's guys out there. Someone is going to see the opportunity and go to KC. And again, they keep drafting well. They have a bunch of young talent too that's just going to keep getting better. And Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis and all these guys, like they're just going to keep getting better. I assume they're going to continue to draft really well. And the same way dudes want to go play with LeBron, the same way dudes wanted to go play with Brady, like dudes are going to want to go play with this and join this dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like the Kansas City Chiefs are not going anywhere. Like you said, as long as Mahomes is here, and like you got to remember, he's not even 30.
It's absurd.
Which is ridiculous. Like, I don't agree. In my opinion, I don't agree with the whole Mahomes to Brady thing. Like, talk to me when Mahomes has 4, and then maybe I'll throw him in because Brady has almost double that. Like Brady's been killing since he was young. And like, yes, Mahomes might be on the trajectory, but things can happen where it might just not be his year. So, he might run into like a stacked defense. Like I thought that was going to be this year with the Baltimore Ravens, but Mahomes, he got over that hurdle, and like I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
You can't like he's got three MVPs, all 3 Super Bowl MVPs. It's just like Brady is a whole different breed. Like I understand when you talk about talent, when you talk about on the field, but when you talk about accolades,
oh yeah, accolades. Mahomes could probably play for as long as he wants, and he probably won't touch some of Brady's accolades because it's really not normal. But I don't know, man. In terms of the like, when I'm evaluating like the GOAT conversation and stuff like that, my biggest thing that I think people, even when they do the LeBron Jordan thing, that people always tend to forget to mention in the conversation is just what you see with your eyes and the eye test. And
absolutely,
like, listen, Brady was phenomenal, and like in terms of his resume, he's obviously the GOAT, but in terms of what I see with my eyes, it's really not even that close between Brady and Mahomes. I think Mahomes wasn't supposed to be able to do this. He wasn't supposed to be able to win Super Bowls managing the game and having a great defense like Brady does. Mahomes was supposed to be quarterbacking these high-powered offenses and these, all these deep shots and big plays and stuff like that. And the way that Mahomes was able to change the way he's played the quarterback position over the last 2 years, it's not normal. That's something that you're supposed to do like Brady did when you're 34, 35, when you're getting older and stuff like that, when you understand more. Mahomes isn't supposed to understand the game and understand how to win the way he does at such a young age. It's really not normal. I think you could. I really do believe you can make the argument for Mahomes. Like, in my opinion, like Mahomes is my GOAT. Like, he is the greatest I have ever seen. But like, obviously, I can't be mad at anyone who says it's Brady. Like,
yeah, no, I get it.
Brady probably has a better not probably. Brady obviously has a better argument. I just think what I see with my eyes, like, I don't know if Brady's doing what this guy does, bro. It's crazy.
Nah, man. I definitely agree. I definitely think it's a conversation. I definitely think that Mahomes put himself in that conversation, and it's just like it's ridiculous. We can only see how Mahomes is going to be from here on out, and it's just like, and I really want to see what happens when he has a weapon, like a Mike Evans or Brandon Ayuk or just anybody. Like they were the team with the most drops in the whole NFL, and they still won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I have another stat from the game. Hold on one sec. So Purdy, when he was targeting Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, was 8 for 20 for 86 yards. Not that good.
No.
Mahomes, when he was targeting Hardman, MVS, and Justin Watson, 9 for 13 for 131 and 2 touchdowns.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's.
So yeah, watch what happens when he gets a Mike Evans or a Michael Pittman.
When he gets an actual wide receiver one. Oh my God. I just can't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for our probably short NFL topic. We got a lot of NBA to discuss. First off, I want to talk about the stuff that was leading into. I want to talk about the stuff that was leading into this weekend. Obviously, we got All-Star Weekend this weekend, started tonight on Friday. But I want to talk. Your opinions on what happened during the trade deadline. Light messing up.
You're good. You're good. Talk to me.
So a couple of the things I definitely do want to talk about that happened during the trade deadline is obviously everybody talks about how the Knicks won the trade deadline. Knicks went out and got Bojan Bogdanovic from the Detroit Pistons, and they brought in an old guy, Alec Burks. Old as in he played for the team before. Not that he's old as in age, but he's a former Knick. And then another team that literally came in second is probably the Dallas Mavericks. Getting PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford was definitely huge, and you can see the contribution that they've had on this Dallas Mavericks team. And then there have been some little moves here and there. Buddy Hield got traded to Philly, finally got out of Indiana like he wanted. Gordon Hayward finally got out of Charlotte, moved over to OKC. Pat Bev went to the Bucks, which I didn't think was going to happen. And yeah, I want to know some stuff you want to talk about just during the trade deadline. If there was a trade that stuck out to you, if there are little things happen.
So I'll talk with those two trades that you mentioned around the edges. I think Buddy Hield to Philly is huge for them if Embiid ever gets healthy. Obviously, it's a move that's going to fly under the radar considering Embiid's out right now, so we're not going to see the full effects of it. But I said this a few days ago with Embiid healthy, Buddy Hield is probably the best pure shooter he's played with since JJ Redick was there. And we saw how impactful JJ was when he was there. JJ was old too, but he has a little bit more juice in terms of putting the ball on the floor than a guy like JJ Redick too. So I think it takes pressure off Embiid. It takes pressure off Maxey. Maxey could just get downhill and create and not have to worry about being the best 3-point shooter on the team. I think Pat Bev to Milwaukee was phenomenal. Listen, there wasn't much they could do to fix that defense. There wasn't many moves to be made. They were pretty handicapped in terms of their roster, but everywhere, if you want to hate Pat Bev because of his personality, that's fine. But everywhere Pat Bev has gone, he has impacted winning. It's a fact. He was on my Bulls for the last half of the season, and we were one of the best defensive teams in the NBA since he got there. That guy just impacts winning basketball and impacts defense. So I think that's a really big move, and I think that could. The Bucks are obviously a mess right now, but I think having Pat Bev just in the room could go a long way for them. In terms of the biggest winner of the deadline, I mean the Mavericks. I mean we've seen it for 3 games now. Listen, it's a short sample size, and I expected PJ Washington to come in and be the third scoring option, and he hasn't been that. I think he's averaging 7 points since he got there. I think he's shooting 12% from 3. Which I expect that to turn around. I don't think he's a 12% three. Obviously, his 3-point shooting has gone down every year he's been in the NBA. I think he was at 32% when he got to the Mavs, so that's probably down to maybe sub 30 now. But this dude's defensive impact has been unreal. Listen, Grant Williams was cool, and Grant Williams provides you some defensive versatility, but the way PJ Washington could guard wings. He could guard big guys. He could step out and guard on the perimeter. He could guard in the pick and roll. He could switch if he has to. This dude just brings so much versatility. And that was my biggest point when he got there. And I was honestly more talking about the offensive end, the versatility he brings you there. I didn't realize how versatile the dude is on defense too. But the Mavs had a lot of one-dimensional guys alongside Kyrie and Luka. You had Derek Lively. He was a rim-running shot blocker. You had Grant Williams, who was really a corner three-point shooter. You have Tim Hardaway Jr., who's really just a spark plug off the bench. A lot of guys who are good and provide value, but are very, very one-dimensional. Even Daniel Gafford, who they got at the deadline too, who's been phenomenal for them, but he's a rim-running big who can block shots. Like, he doesn't offer much versatility. PJ Washington comes in and could play multiple positions on offense, could score from all three levels of the floor, and then can guard all three levels of the floor. He just gives them a Swiss Army knife aspect that they were severely lacking. And like, I'm sure I've been high on the Mavs for 2 years now. I think Luka Doncic is that good that he doesn't need a great roster to win. He could carry a team by himself. But, I mean, the Mavs are a plus 51 with PJ Washington on the court in the 3 games he's got there. The other night, Wemby was giving them buckets in the first half. They put PJ Washington on him in the second half. The dude had 6 points in the second half. Like, I think they've been the hottest team in basketball the past 6 games. They've been the number 1 defense in basketball over that time frame. Even before the trade deadline, they were starting to get rolling a little bit. And that's without PJ Washington contributing really offensively. This is a guy who I believe, playing alongside playmakers like Luka and Kyrie, could average 15 to 17 points on decent efficiency. Like, I don't think that is out of the range of outcomes. So when they unlock PJ Washington offensively, then things are going to start to get real scary.
Absolutely. Listen, man, you touched upon basically everything. I think one of the things that definitely unlocks PJ Washington is that now, sometimes some guys need a different setting, a different background. So I think now that as soon as he walked into that Mavericks locker room, him and Daniel Gafford, like you're in there, you're not just playing to play, you're impacting winning basketball. So I feel like now that they're both in winning situations, we're definitely going to be able to see them more in the limelight and then what they can bring to teams. Like, you talk about what he was able to do offensively. Nobody knew what he could bring defensively, and everybody's starting to see that now with what he's doing, because now he's impacting winning basketball. And he's like, you can definitely tell in his like demeanor that he's playing better. He wants to be better. And like, it just like, it's just ridiculous. And like you said, Luka can carry an offense. And like, I'm really glad to see what this Mavs team is doing, because what they're doing is they're literally doing what a lot of people have been saying that they need to do, is just surround Luka with defense and shooting. And look what's happening. Like, yes, it's only been a 3-game sample size, like you said, but they're also getting one of the best breaks that a lot of people wish for in the All-Star break. Like, you're only going to lose Luka. So now this team is only going to gain more chemistry, and then you're going to bring back your star player, and they're probably going to make a jump in the standings. And then I'm hoping to see them make a deep playoff run. And this Mavs team is just different.
Yeah, I think this is honestly a case where they wish the All-Star break wasn't happening, honestly, just because of how they're rolling right now. I tweeted it out, like, if they come out of the All-Star break and they're flat, I would be really, really sad, considering how they've been playing the past, like, 2 weeks. So, but I mean, listen, Luka has probably been the best player in basketball this year. It's not getting talked about enough because the Mavs aren't up there in the standings. But like, you look at the stat lines he's putting up, like, he's probably been the best player in basketball. Kyrie honestly has a case of being the best number 2 in basketball when he plays. That's the problem with Kyrie. He's in and out of the lineup, but it looks like they have some synergy going. It looks like they're healthy. And I mean, I've been saying this for 2 years. Just let them get into the playoffs. They are a team where the seeding doesn't matter. I promise you. Those top teams in the West, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, they do not want to see Luka and Kyrie for 7 games. They don't. Luka will make quick work of them. I promise that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Guys that would probably have to guard him, like Shea Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, like Lou Dort.
That's what I'm saying. The Mavs will make you guard. Like, everyone has to guard.
Yeah, like that's definitely gonna be tough. I could definitely see it. But just to move over to the east side, the Knicks, man, Knicks are making big moves. I know I should have worn my Knicks jersey today, but I gotta represent my guy Dame Dollar. But uh why are you making that face, Chris?
Man, he had an ugly showing last
Listen,
night.
man, he should be in Miami, right? He absolutely. Did you see the showing he had against Miami? Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was like it warmed my heart, but it also made me upset. Like because he sees what he's missing out. Like I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get into it. But not just talk about the Knicks, man. Like Bojan is definitely gonna be huge for them, especially when they get Randall and Mitch back. And we all know what Alec Burks does in a New York Knicks uniform. Like I think the Knicks are probably my second or third favorite to come out of the East, behind guys like the Boston Celtics and guys like the Miami Heat. Like I think when you look at this Knicks roster, I said it before the trade deadline. After trading for OG Anunoby and Precious Achua, I'm thinking like, bro, all you're missing is size. They said, nah, we're good with size. We just want to outshoot people. So they went out. They got a guy in Alec Burks who can shoot the three ball, and they got a guy in Bojan Bogdanovic who can defend at a good level, who can stretch the floor with his length, and just like who could just be an all around player. Like, and then you put all that supporting cast right next to Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. And my other big thing is that, like, you're adding these pieces that you can play in games to take a lot more stress off of Julius Randle. So now, yes, like when come playoff time, we're gonna have a lot of expectation when it comes to Julius Randle, but like he's not gonna need to do much. Like you're gonna see other guys flourishing in moments, doing this, doing that. And then Julius Randle's going to be able to pick his moments. He's not, we're not going to have to give him the ball 50 times in a game. Like, we're not going to need him to do all this and then some. Like, so that way, like, there's a little bit less expectation. So that when he's able to do more, everybody's going to be excited. And listen, man, Knicks basketball is great right now, and I'm loving it.
It's so rough to evaluate because they're so injured right now. The Knicks,
Yeah,
with Randall out, with OG out, Brunson's been kind of
in
in
and
and out
out.
of the lineup a little bit. Yeah. Um. Listen, you gave up a guy who wasn't in the rotation in Evan Fournier, and a guy who was finding his way out of the rotation in Quentin Grimes, and a second round pick for 240+% 3-point shooters. Like, that'll always be a win no matter what. I love Bojan. I think Bojan is much more than a shooter, like you said. He's a guy who could defend at a decent level. I know people, think he's not the greatest defender. He could guard up when he has to guard up. Maybe not like he could have 5 years ago, but
Yeah,
he could still guard up. And I think he's a playmaker, man. Playmaking to me goes way like beyond getting assists. Like, Bojan, more than just being a stationary corner shooter, like Bojan could put the ball on the floor and create shots for himself, which will only lead to creating shots for others. So I think, especially if he's a guy who's going to come off the bench for them, he gives them the spark plug that they were missing when they traded Emmanuel Quickly away. In terms of playoff basketball, it takes pressure off of Julius Randle for sure, having more spacing around and guys who could score, but it's simple for me. Randle has to show up and play at an all-star level if this team and
no,
that's
you're
not a
right.
knock.
No, I
That's
get
not
it.
a knock on Randle, and I'm probably in the minority that thinks he can do that. I know a lot of people have given up on Julius Randle in terms of playoff expectations, but he has to show up. Like,
Yeah,
this is it. Like, you have, like, your third time around, third time has to be the charm.
yeah,
Like, even if they lose and don't make it to the conference finals or whatever, like, at least give us a somewhat good scoring like punch and
output.
decent efficiency.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. At least show that you belong, man. At least show that you belong.
Mhm.
But listen, they have the roster to compete with the top dogs in the East. And there's really not a doubt in my mind that Jalen Brunson will show up. I'd rather say he will show up until I'm proven otherwise.
Hmm.
So it really, for as much, added spacing as they have and defensive versatility they added with OG, like, it's still gonna come. I mean, listen, the Bucks are a shit show right now.
Absolutely.
The Bucks are a shit show. I'm still taking the Bucks over the Knicks in a heartbeat without even thinking about it. They could listen. Brunson and Dame could be a debate, but no matter what, the Bucks have the best player in the series, and
Absolutely.
sometimes that's enough.
True.
Especially if the Knicks' second best player and Julius Randle doesn't show up. Sometimes that's enough. So if the Knicks are playing the Bucks and we're getting Brunson going for 25 to 30 and Randle giving you, 20 to 25 on decent efficiency, then we could have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Then we could have a conversation about it, with all the added spacing. Then the Knicks can compete. But if Randle doesn't show up, the Bucks will sweep them. I don't care how bad the Bucks are. The Bucks will sweep them. Giannis will sweep them. Giannis won't lose to fucking Julius Randle giving you 11 points on 3 of 15 shooting. Same thing with Miami, bro. We saw it last year. Listen, the Knicks are better than last year, but I've been saying this. The Heat are much better than last year too. You get Terry Rozier, who wasn't there last year, and you get Tyler Hero, who wasn't there last year. Like, that's a big thing that people are missing when they evaluate the Heat, that Tyler Hero wasn't there for the run last year. So as much as the Knicks got better, the Heat got better too. So same thing applies if they play the Heat. We saw it last year. If Randle doesn't show up, listen, Jimmy Butler wasn't even that good in that series when the Heat beat the Knicks.
That was a series Jimmy got hurt in game 2, I think.
Right. Jimmy wasn't even that good, and Jalen Brunson played like an all-world first-team All-NBA player in that series, and it still wasn't enough, right? So again, if Randle doesn't show up, no chance.
And RJ Barrett showed up a little bit, like toward the end of that series.
RJ had some good games, yeah.
Yeah, RJ had really good games, like 4, 5, and 6. I'm not gonna lie, when RJ was stepping up. And we went down 3-2. I was like, wow, we might lose this series. If they can get a win here in Miami, in New York, I was like, we're done. Yeah. But we ultimately ended up getting it done, and yeah, that's just
and I'm not saying all this to discredit the Knicks. Like, again, A+ season for them in terms of their front office with the OG move and now the Bojan move at the deadline. Like, the front office has made all the right moves, but just subjectively, I guess, because it's my opinion, but none of this shit matters unless Julius Randle shows up.
That's very true. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Definitely take some pressure off of him for sure, but he still has to to be the number 2 guy and be somewhat efficient.
Yeah, I think just to transfer over to the next topic, one of my before I do want to end the trade deadline, I think one of my most underrated trades was the Gordon Hayward to OKC for Trey Mann. I thought that was good for both sides because I thought OKC, like, they got the extra third guy that they wanted in Gordon Hayward, and I love Gordon Hayward. I think he's going to be a great defensive piece. I think he's going to be able to shoot the lights out for this team, and I think he's going to play really well. But one of the guys I'm seeing is Trey Mann, and Trey Mann is must-watch basketball. And the fact that he's in Charlotte, he's going to be next to LaMelo. Like, as bad as the Hornets are, but now that you got the uprise in Brandon Miller, like, I think they're going to have a good second half of the year. And only for years to come, I think they're going to be a funny young team to watch.
I saw someone tweet the Hornets traded Terry Rozier and ended up getting younger Terry Rozier and picks back. Like, yeah, I mean, Trey Mann's a guy who I've liked for a while. I mean, he was good at Florida. I know a lot of people gave up on him, but I felt like he wasn't really given a fair opportunity in OKC.
I don't think
And
so either.
And I guess that's fair because OKC is the number 2 seed in the West. So like they're doing their thing. So Tua works. Like good for you, OKC. But I mean, you let him go to Charlotte, especially with LaMelo out. Like he's free reigns to the offense, and just let him cook and develop a little bit and see if he could be a long-term piece. Listen, they have the building blocks. They have the building blocks. They just cannot fuck this up. I don't know how they would potentially fuck it up, but it's the Charlotte Hornets. Like,
Absolutely.
don't fuck the Charlotte. Please don't fuck this up because
I
Brandon
think they
Miller. They're so exciting, bro.
I think they just need another coach. Because I don't think Steve Clifford is that guy.
They probably need a younger coach. I'm always a fan of with young teams. Get a young coach and let the coach develop with the team. You know,
Exactly. Let
Steve
them build that
Clifford.
relationship.
Yeah, Steve Clifford. I like Steve Clifford, and I like his philosophies. Every time I hear him talk, I like what he has to say. But Steve Clifford, to me, and I guess any coach should be focused on winning, but in a situation like the Hornets, I feel like the number one priority should be player development over trying to win. And I think Steve Clifford has kind of a disconnect there where he's doing whatever it takes to win, which I applaud the guy for that, but the player development hasn't really been what we've wanted it to be as fans. So yeah, I think they could use a new coach. Um, in terms of the OKC side of that trade, listen, you get a guy, Gordon Hayward, you trade Trey Mann who wasn't playing for you. If Gordon Hayward could stay healthy for the playoff run, he's a guy who fits seamlessly. You know,
Absolutely.
OKC loves to have 5 guys out there who could space the floor, who could put the ball on the floor and create, and who could guard multiple positions. And Gordon Hayward checks all the boxes. Even at this late stage in his career, he still checks all the boxes. So I don't expect him to come in and, be this 30-minute per game starter for them. But if you could get 15 to 20 good minutes out of Gordon Hayward a night come playoff time, like, you take that 100%
Yeah.
of the time.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think that was like I wanted to touch on that because I felt like that was a very underrated trade, and I felt like it was one of the only like win-win situations for
Yeah,
both
it's
teams.
tough with Gordon Hayward because he's been so in and out of lineups over the past few years.
Yeah. But now I want to talk about some of the buyout contracts that have been happening. So far we've only got 3. Gallo to the Bucks, Kyle Lowry to the Sixers, and Spencer Dinwiddie to the Lakers. Let me hear you rank them from best to worst.
Ranking them best to worst.
Yes.
I guess I have to put Dinwiddie number 1 by default just because I feel like he just not even based on fit. I just feel like he by far has the most to offer to an NBA roster. I don't really like the fit in LA. I don't really think Dinwiddie was what they needed, but if you could get a guy like that without giving anything up, why not, I guess? Maybe if someone gets hurt, at least you have a little bit of insurance. If D'Lo has to miss time, if Austin Reeves potentially ever has to miss time, you at least have a little bit of insurance. Number 2, I guess I'd put Kyle Lowry. None of these moves really move me at all. Kyle Lowry to Philly is it's tough to evaluate because Embiid's out.
True.
So it's like I don't, for this, if I don't know if Embiid's gonna play again this year. So Kyle Lowry, how much longer does he have anyway? Like when you get a guy in the buyout market, it's for the rest of the year. So are they gonna re-sign Kyle Lowry after this year? I don't know. I know Kyle Lowry has been trying to make his way to Philly for his entire career, being from there and going to Villanova. So he's been trying to get there forever. So it wouldn't shock me if they bring him back on a, little minimum deal. But how much is 36-year-old Kyle Lowry going to really contribute to winning basketball on a team like the 76ers, who their main priority out of the other pieces who aren't Embiid, Maxey, and Tobias Harris is spacing and shooting, which isn't really what Kyle Lowry's providing at this day and age. So that doesn't really move me that much. Gallo to the Bucks, again, it's cool. He's a guy who I guess could guard positionally just because he has length, but I don't know. What has Gallo done in the past 3 years? I love Danilo Gallinari. Like he's sick, but like when he was on the Knicks and Nuggets, like those were good times. But how old is he now? Like 38? Like he's old.
I don't think he's 38. I think that was a little bit of a stretch, but I know he's
old, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't think any.
Oh yeah, he's only 35.
You're crazy. Nah, yeah, I think obviously the best move was Dinwiddie to the Lakers. I think, like you said, just insurance. If AR is not having a good day, if D'Lo goes back to regular D'Lo before the trade rumors, like you got Spence there, but I don't think Spence is really gonna help you like that. Like he's just like, yeah, you get the combo of Spence and D'Lo back, and we saw what they could do in Brooklyn, but like those were younger times. I don't think they're the same players. Kyle Lowry,
like the Mavs, like Dinwiddie should have went to the Mavs, man.
You said you think he should have went back to the Mavericks?
He should have went to the Mavs. I know they were in contention, and I know he came out and said some stuff that people didn't really like what he said. He said something about the Mavs are like your mom, who when you mess up, they'll tell you it's going to be okay. But the Lakers are like your dad, who will really be on you if you mess up. So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what he meant by that, but regardless, I think he would have had more of a role with the Mavs, and I think he was needed more with the Mavs, honestly. Like, I don't know, the Lakers didn't need another fucking shot chucking guard.
Yes,
like they really didn't need that. The Mavs could use another shot choker. Why not? Put another guy who could catch and shoot next to Luka and Kyrie. Why not? And he's a guy, like, playing with Luka and Kyrie, like, he's a guy who gives you size. Like, he could play with the Luka and Kyrie on the floor. Yeah. Dinwiddie, are the Lakers really going to run lineups of fucking D'Lo, Dinwiddie, and Austin Reeves down the stretch of games?
Yeah, like that's
no.
And then LeBron and AD? No.
Like, no, bro. That's nasty. That's disgusting. Like, Dinwiddie, to me, if he went to the Mavs, like, you could run Luka, Kyrie, Dinwiddie if Tim Hardaway Jr. is not hitting, and then PJ and Gafford, or go small and run PJ and Derek Jones Jr., like something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Dinwiddie would have taken the Mavs to another level, in my opinion. The Lakers, it just doesn't move me whatsoever.
Yeah, I felt like when it came to the Laker move, it just didn't make sense. Like, I didn't understand it. Like,
the only reason it makes sense is you get him without having to give anyone up. That's why you do it.
Yeah, that's true.
At that point, the basketball fit and the role, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know? I guess when it comes to the Lakers, like, probably what they saw out of Dinwiddie was the playmaking. And I feel like the playmaking is definitely going to help them, but, like, not by much.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. But on to my last thing about the NBA topic, and probably my last thing on the show. I want to talk about All-Star Weekend. So first thing I want to talk about is All-Star Saturday night. Who you got for, you got the dunk contest, you got the 3-point challenge, you got the skills challenge. What event are you most excited about, and who do you want to win?
What event am I most excited about? Man, All-Star Saturday night, it just doesn't hit the same anymore, bro. I remember, what year was it? I want to say 2014. It was the year where it was the 3-on-3 dunk contest, and there were 6 of them. And the Eastern Conference team was PG, John Wall, and Terrence Ross. And they went up against Ben McLemore when he jumped over Shaq. Who else was on that Western Conference team with him? It was Ben McLemore. It probably was Jeremy Evans.
And I think Dame was
in that one. Dame was in that one. Yes, Dame was.
That was Dame's like first or second year in Portland.
Yeah. That shit got me going. Like that was good. I know everyone, when they talk about the dunk contest, they go to the Levine Aaron Gordon days, but like that dunk contest will always hold a special place in my heart. It was
that dunk contest was
PG hit the 360 through the legs. Like it was good stuff.
With him and John Wall hitting the thing at the that's old school. That's crazy.
The skills challenge has been cool the past couple of years. I've
With that
enjoyed how,
3-team thing,
yeah, I've enjoyed how they've evolved it a little bit
I
rather
don't know.
than
I
just
don't like
running
it. I'm
running
more of
through fucking cones and taking a layup and a three. It's cool that they're at least trying to evolve it. I'm super happy that we don't have to see the Antetokounmpo bros in it again this year.
yes.
That's pretty exciting. But the skills challenge is cool. But I don't know. I enjoy it.
Mm.
Um, the
I don't know.
3-point con
I only like the skills challenge when they were doing guards versus bigs. I thought
that was
that was
cool.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Um, the 3-point contest, like
It's always fun.
it's
I
fun,
don't
but
know.
like
I don't care what you say. The 3-point contest is always a good time. It's always a good time.
I guess you always get that one guy too who shits the bed, and you get some
Yeah.
good memes out of it. So I don't know. It's just
No, it's
I get
actually not funny because the one year Duncan was in it, he shot the bed. And I'm so mad because Duncan was supposed to make that a Miami Heat weekend. Bam won the skills challenge. He was supposed to win the 3-point, and Derrick Jones Jr. won the dunk contest. I was so mad.
yeah, yeah. But what am I most excited for? I guess I'd say that you know what I'm gonna say the dunk contest, man. I know the dunk contest isn't what it once was, but I get more excited from any type of dunk than guys shooting threes and throwing balls into little holes like they do with the skills challenge. Like the dunk contest has the most potential to be exciting. So I'll say I'm most excited for the dunk contest.
And who do you want to win the dunk contest?
I want Jaylen Brown to win it, bro. I want him to win it so bad. You know why?
Why?
Because if a guy like Jaylen Brown wins the dunk contest, maybe, just maybe, it'll intrigue some other guys who are that level of player. Say, hey, maybe I'll do the dunk contest next year. But if Jacob Toppin or Mac McClung goes back to back, why would a guy like Anthony Edwards do the dunk contest? What's the point?
That's true.
You know,
I
Jaylen
saw
Brown's the first All-Star in how many years to
I
be in
was
the
just
dunk
about since
contest? Yeah,
2017.
right. Right. So,
All
like,
right.
if Jaylen Brown can win it, it'll maybe revive. Like, he's the only chance to save the dunk contest. The fucking fate of the dunk contest is in Jaylen Brown's hands. So, I hope Jaylen Brown wins it.
Man. I don't know, man. For me, it's always the 3-point contest. I love watching guys go nuts playing in the 3-point contest, especially now that they added the Mountain Dew shot, which is like a little bit further. And like
Honestly, I'm most excited for Steph versus Sabrina.
I was
That's
just about
probably
to
the
get
thing
to
I'm
that.
most excited for.
I think that's gonna be so fun,
It's gonna be epic.
especially because Sabrina said she was like, "Hey, I'll play at NBA range and I'll shoot at NBA basketball." Like I thought that was phenomenal. I was like, "Yes, don't give her any, don't give her any adjustments. Let her shoot just like the guys. And if she puts on a clinic with Steph Curry, is nuts." Especially because you know me, like I'm a big WNBA fan. Like it's gonna bring so much attention to the W, and it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. You're gonna get some new people watching. Like that's always good to see. And
Yeah,
Sabrina, like, man, the W's going in the right direction, man. With a girl like Sabrina there, we saw Caitlin Clark break the record in
yeah.
literal just Caitlin Clark fashion. I mean, you have 49 points and you break the record on a logo three. Like that shit's not fucking normal, bro. It's actually absurd.
And it's
So
funny because she said that in the interview. She was like, "Yeah, you know, I was gonna shoot the logo 3. Like
yeah.
I had to." I was like, "Wow, that's really nuts."
She's probably been planning that shit for fucking weeks. Like she
Yeah,
knew, yeah,
absolutely.
absurd, absurd. Um,
Um,
you want me to give a prediction for the 3-point contest?
if you want, yeah, go ahead. So for those of you that don't know, the 3-point contest, the contestants, I believe there's what 10 of them.
8.
There's 8 of them. Okay.
I have it right here. You want me to read
Oh,
it
you
off?
have the list?
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
it's Malik Beasley, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Dame, Laurie Markkinen, Donovan Mitchell, Kat, and Trae Young.
You know who I'm going for.
Yeah.
Who do you think?
I don't like Jalen Brunson.
I don't either. I think Jalen Brunson is more of a off the dribble kind of shooter.
Yeah, I don't like Donovan Mitchell on this.
I think Donovan did Mitch win one? No, he didn't.
I'm gonna go with Cat, man. We've seen Cat win one before. I'm gonna go with Cat.
He has won one before.
I'm gonna go with Cat, bro. I want to take Trae Young, but nah.
He's another one. He's an off the dribble shooter.
Yeah, Trae Young. This isn't for him. I think Cat's gonna show out, bro. I'm gonna go with Cat.
All right, man. I mean, he says he's the best shooting big man ever. So we'll see how that goes. But the last thing I want to do before you go, Chris, you know, I don't know why the NBA did it. I loved on Sunday nights when they had the All-Star game, when they were picking players and making it like a pickup game. I thought that was so fun. I don't know why they went back to East versus West, but I love it so much that we're going to do it here on the show. So what I'm going to do is we are going to draft our own all-star teams. So I'm giving you the honor. I have all the guys here. The only people I don't have are obviously Joel Embiid and Julius Randle because they're injured. So I'm gonna let you start it off. You don't have to start with the starters. You can start with a bench guy. It's completely up to you. And I'm gonna let you get the first pick.
All right. With the first pick, give me Luka.
I feel like I know who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, give me Luka, bro.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna pick Luka. Okay, so Luka Doncic. All right. I think with my first pick, I'm probably gonna go with the guy who can probably score just as good as Luka, and I'm probably gonna go Kevin Durant.
All right. I have Luka. I want some shooting. Give me Kawhi.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, give me Kawhi, bro.
You said shooting, and he was like, "Let me take Kawhi Leonard."
Kawhi can shoot, bro.
He can shoot in the mid range. Yeah. Okay, I see it. I see what you're doing. I don't even know what I'm talking about, man. Give me Steph Curry. Talk about shooting.
That's good.
I need Steph, bro.
Give me Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Wow. Okay.
I'm trying to build a cohesive squad here.
I see. Okay. You know what? I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I gotta give this guy a lot of respect. He's played really good this year. He's on the best team in the NBA, and he's probably one of the most versatile scorers I've seen in probably a long time. Let me get Jason Tatum. I can't believe I just picked the Celtic.
All right.
Oh, I'm shivering.
Oh man, I kind of wanted Tatum.
Oh man.
Shit, man, they're gonna fucking clown us for not taking Jokic, but
yeah.
I don't.
We're talking about, but this is for like an entertainment factor.
Yeah, Jokic just don't, and even just team building wise, like I don't want Jokic with Luka, bro.
That's very true.
Like it's Jokic is probably the best in the world. I picked Luka. Give me Giannis.
Okay. Where is Antetokounmpo?
Right next to AD.
Oh. Okay. Let me see. So I have a 1, a 3, and a 4. Let me go. Honestly, let me get some facilitating. I think I'm gonna go Tyrese.
Okay.
Probably one of the best passers in the league right now. Leads the league in assists.
Ready? Now here's where I'm really gonna shake the room.
Oh Jesus!
To be my center, give me Cat.
Whoa. Okay. Over AD and Bam.
I want the shooting. I have Giannis. Giannis is my rim protector. Look at that 5, bro.
That's true.
The fit is fucking immaculate with that team. You got shooting, you got defense. Oh yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
that's the stuff.
Honestly, I need some defense on this side. I'm gonna go with, you know me, man. I'm gonna go with the most versatile big in the NBA, and I'm gonna go with Bam Adebayo.
All right, to be my 6th man, give me Jokic.
He said, "Give me Jokic." Oh man, that's funny. To be my 6th man, I need some scoring off the bench. I'm probably oh my God. I don't know who to pick. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna go Paul George. I'm gonna go Paul George.
All right, I'll take Shea.
You want SGA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that just makes my life better. I'm gonna take Dame.
All right.
I was literally torn between the two because I thought you would have took him.
All right. Here's where I take AD.
Okay.
Oh my God, bro. You have no bigs left. My second unit's gonna kill you, bro.
What you mean? I'm gonna take Paolo. Should I take Paolo? I don't know. Should I take Paolo? It's crazy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take Paolo. Play the 4. 4 small ball 5.
All right, give me D-Book.
Yeah, you took all the bigs. It's crazy. Okay. I got a lot of wings on this team. Wing. Oh my God. Let me take Edwards. Add a little size to the backcourt.
All right, to round out my top 10, give me LeBron, bro. I got a squad, bro.
Damn, LeBron, I was just thinking about that.
My bench might be better than my starters. I'm not gonna lie.
Think so?
It's close.
It's close. It is close. Let me see. Oh my God. Damn. You really took all the bigs. It's crazy. Let me see. I think I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown.
All right, give me Trae Young. Have to do it. He needs to be on the team.
If you do Trae Young, I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson.
I'll take Tyrese Maxey.
Oh my God! I knew it. Fuck. I'm so mad. All right, then I got Scotty. I could use Scotty. Scotty's a little bit of size. Scotty adds a little bit of size. Oh man, that's funny.
Oh man, I think I cooked you. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I don't know about that. I got a lot of versatility on this side. You do beat me in size, though. I will give you that. You do beat me in size.
Oh, you gotta post that screenshot to Twitter.
I got you.
Let people see wins.
So I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'm gonna post it.
Yeah.
Man. All right, man. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Trophy Room Podcast. Chris, is there anything you want to say to the people out there before we wrap up?
No, man. Make sure you guys follow my guy Nick, bro. He's putting in that work, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm always here if you need someone to be a guest, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Listen, for all those watching, make sure y'all go follow Ball Game Podcast. Make sure you guys go follow OB's Office. I was just on there probably about 2 episodes ago. Great talk, man. Chris is a great dude, man. Appreciate you for coming on, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all his stuff. And listen, man, like I like to end off every show, man. Make sure you tell your friends.